Okay, so I'm right here with my son. I've literally just went through a domestic violence situation where I had to put my child's father in jail for hitting me so hard in my head that my eyes literally swole up. The swelling has went down some in my eyes, but the impact was so hard that I literally had my eyes swell up. And when I was explaining that to the police, originally they misconstrued what I meant by my eyes swollen up, like maybe he had hit me in the face, in the eye, but no, he hit me in the head, and from the impact my eyes had swollen up. So anyways, I have a temporary restraining order on him, and we had been arguing because, well, his roommate had threatened me, and instead of actually having defended me as the mother of his child, he decided to defend his friend. And it was really ridiculous because all I was attempting to do was my laundry over there. Okay, I was here in the kitchen doing my laundry, minding my own business, and this guy who his name is Oral Henry, is a male chauvinistic pig, really, wanted me to get out of the kitchen so that he could do whatever he wanted to do and not have me in here, which I was in here first, and I was in the middle of doing what I had to do, and his whatever he had to do was not more important than what I had to do. And he was just attempting to boss me around, and I hadn't even put soap in the washer. It was ridiculous. So he had threatened to take my head off, and I specifically told him that it wasn't going to be that easy. I said, if you think that I'm just going to sit here in my wheelchair and just let you do that, no, I'm not just going to, yeah. Let's get a picture of the baby. So, this is the baby in question. My son is well fed. He is dressed appropriately for the weather. I'm in my wheelchair. He is highly taken care of. They interrupted my breastfeeding him, and he fell asleep. I thought we were going to start breastfeeding again, and he fell asleep again. Yeah. I think he was getting frustrated with me talking to them and not paying attention to him, because I usually am all eyes on him when I'm feeding him, and we have our special time where we're connecting and feeding. And so it's not that special or connecting when you have people here harassing you. And so anyways, they have been served, and if the officer doesn't serve him the documentation, they've still been served by me, both of them, and that documentation is it's already been read, but I will get a blank copy, and I will do a scroll. Oh, what? Oh, hello. Yeah. Little gurgly baby Jones. Yeah. What? Yeah. I know. So, anyways, I just went through that with, my child's father or whatever, and literally now. What? Okay. Hold on one second. gonna put the phone in here and adjust it. Okay. The lighting is not too good. However, yeah, so I just went through all this whole ordeal just like a few days ago. My head really just stopped hurting, and it kind of comes and goes, like the pain in my head. And then, you know, all of a sudden, out of nowhere, this guy shows up today stating that the police had contacted him, and then the police stated that they contacted him, that they contacted the police. Who is it?
Fresno Police Department.
Okay, so what happened? Did you serve him?
Can you open up the door and leave a screenshot for us? Just like you did last time?
So I'm holding the baby.
Okay.
And I'm in my wheelchair. I can't roll and hold him like this at the same time.
Man, we did it last time.
No, I had him in my front carrier. I don't have him like that right now. I tried to call for you like 3 or 4 times, and you never responded with anything, so I didn't know what had happened. I yelled out of the door while the screen door was open, and you never replied back to me.
Well, he went to go get me, so I'm the supervisor. So maybe I can help you out, or maybe provide some additional information that you're looking for, or...
I wasn't looking for any information. I told that gentleman it is harassment for him to keep persisting. The other officer was supposed to serve him documentation in which he's in violation of the AJR 42, Rights of Indigenous People. That is the California's Rights of Indigenous People, their agreement.
I have some questions about it. You mind just telling me what you want to open the screen if you don't want, but I'm just trying to figure out what, you know, like what, there's obviously concerns that you're bringing up, and then also with, you know, with CPS, so I'm just trying to find a happy medium, you know?
Okay, there's no concerns with CPS because the police were just here from a domestic violence situation, and they saw my son breastfeeding over 3 times. While they were here, they seen that he was like totally okay. They were not concerned about the child. That man said that you guys called him, that the police called him, and fraudulently and in perjury.
Okay, that incident that you're talking about, when was that?
Okay, that was just the other day. So, like, literally, this just happened. My child's father is in jail right now. And I would, the only thing that you guys need to tell me and that I'm requiring of you guys is to know if he is still in jail or not. That's all I need to know.
What's his name?
Robert Robertson.
Robert Robertson?
Yes, that's all I need to know.
Okay, what was he arrested for? You saying domestic violence?
Correct. He hit me so hard in the head that my eyes swelled up. He didn't hit me in the face on my eye. He hit me in the head.
Okay, and then you said that was, what, a couple days ago?
Yes.
Now, did officers come out?
They arrested him. Yes, they came
I
out.
understand. Did they come out a second time after that?
They've been out here numerous times because
I understand.
because they're his family member. Excuse me, I wasn't finished. His family members have come over here. The roommate is who we were arguing over in the first place because his roommate said he was going to take my head off. And instead of my child's father, you know, backing me, you know, as the mother of his child, and not being in any kind of ill will, negativity, or wrong, he backs his friend. And I was like, that's not okay with me.
And then that's how that the domestic violence incident occurred, correct?
I mean, that was part of it. That was part of our conversation that, during that time.
And have you had, so he got arrested, have you had any contact at all or anything like that with any detectives that are assigned the case?
No detectives.
Or at least not yet or anything?
No, all they told me is that it was a temporary restraining order that would be up on Friday, but I don't know. I don't know if somebody could bail him out. I don't know what the temporary restraining order actually will do. You know what I mean? I don't know exactly if he can still get bailed out, or I don't know what.
Well, I think I can, maybe I can help you out with some of those. I used to work in domestic violence as a detective. So maybe I can help you out with some of those questions. So the officer that was talking to you, Officer Martin,
Uh-huh.
so we sent him, once he said, asked if he was still in custody, so he would go checking if he's still in jail.
He's what?
He is still in jail.
Okay.
But to answer your question is yes, he can, someone can bail him out.
What's his bail amount?
Someone can. So there's always a bail schedule, right? There's always a bail schedule. I mean, that's just the way that the legal process goes. Unless there's like some type
No, the judge could set it to be in no bail.
Well, let me ask you, was he like on any probation or parole at all or anything?
Not to my knowledge.
Okay, yeah, 'cause
But then again, I was being lied to, and that was another one of the problems that we were having, is that I was catching him in so many lies. And so I was like, who is this individual? Like, I don't even know.
yeah. So just to answer some of your questions, so yes, someone can bail him out. The reason why I asked about probation and parole is, let's say he was on probation or was on parole, then that way he would have a hold. So even if, let's say, his bail was, let's say, $1 million, and someone came down with that, in fact, with $1 million to bail him out, because he had a hold, they would not allow him out until that hold is lifted.
Okay.
So, but if he wasn't, let's say, on probation or parole, or, maybe he had some type of, let's say, warrant or something, he would also have to take care of that bail amount, whatever was on the warrant as well. So if he didn't have it, so whatever charges he had or whatever charges he was filed on, or at least arrested for, so each one of those is going to have a bail. So let's say if he was arrested for, let's say like assault, corporal injury on a spouse, which it almost sounds like you did if you got an injury, right? So let's say that has, I don't know, $50,000 bail. But he might have also been charged with maybe another crime on there. That would be added as well. Kind of makes sense?
What are his charges specifically?
What's that?
What are his charges specifically?
I can help you with that. I can find out. It almost sounds like you have like a bunch of questions, and we can actually help you out. You know what I mean? So we're just not here. Just remember, man, you were a victim, right? You were a victim of domestic violence. Okay? And so one of the reasons why, CPS was also involved is, you have a child and you guys have a child together. Research has shown, and also courts agree, that the children are also victimized, however old they are. 10 months old, 10 years old, 16 years old.
Yeah, and which is why I was very surprised. Sir, I was very surprised that when they did the temporary restraining order, that they didn't put my child on there. Like, that's ridiculous to me. Exactly what you just stated. They are victimized too. My son can feel... Huh?
Did you get a copy of it?
I didn't get... of the temporary restraining order?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, yeah.
And it didn't include his name on there?
No. And we don't deal with the jurisdictions of names. His indigenous appellation was not on there.
Okay. Well, you know what? If you feel that your child is in danger with him, if we need to, we can always attempt to get emergency restraining order, kind of like they did on the night when he was assaulted, but it would just take just for us to call a judge. Now, if the child wasn't included on that,
I was holding my son when he hit me in the head, and the officers knew that. I specifically told them exactly where I was on the bed, which my back was up against the wall. I had just breastfed my son, our son, and literally I'm holding my son waiting. I had asked him to just burp the baby and diaper the baby. And when I put everything out for him to do it, on the bed where I was at, and he started to try to like take everything and gather it up like he was going to take the baby out of the room. And that was like, what? It was kind of shocking because he had never done that. All the times.
have you talking to a domestic violence advocate? Did they have one come out and talk to you that day?
No, because they said there was not one available, and they said that they called Marjorie Mason Center, and I guess the director literally had told them that that they were not going to be able to accept me. One, because we're indigenous, and because we wouldn't be going through, like, I guess their system goes through Western medicine or whatever, and I go through the tribe. Excuse me? No, that's not true. They said 2 reasons why they wouldn't. This is what the office. No, not indigent. Indigenous, native, aborigine, tribal. Not indigent. Indigenous. Indigenous. Okay. They said because of that fact, right? Because they can't go through my tribe and get me assistance, right? So they said because of that, and they said because of that, and because I'm in a wheelchair. So let's just take all the Aborigine stuff and set that apart. Because I'm in a wheelchair, they have all their services upstairs. That I said they don't have anything downstairs or anything for handicapped people, and they said no. They checked with the director, all the way to the director, and they said that they would not be able to house me over there because I was gonna go. Started packing and everything, and then the officer came back and told me because I'm in a wheelchair and I can't like walk upstairs, they had no way to house me there.
So what I'm doing now then, it seems like you have a lot of questions, and maybe you kind of answered all of them. Like you're saying that it sounded like maybe that you wanted to have maybe some shelter in Marjorie Mason Center. However, there was either some type of issue where they didn't have room or what.
No, it wasn't the room. It had nothing to do with room. I just stated it's specifically because I'm in a wheelchair.
How about this?
They had room, they just couldn't accommodate a wheelchair.
Well, then would you like to talk to a DV advocate for them that are actually logged on, and they come out and they can help you with either with that restraining order, maybe ensure that your child is listed on there, as well as check with if there's any rooms, because if they're saying it's because of your race or
disability
or whatever tribe you're part of, that's not necessarily a reason to deny you. So, and if that was the reason, then I can assure you that I would check with their supervisor, because I'm the supervisor out here with the police.
So literally the officer told me that he stated that they spoke to the director and that they would not be able to house me for those 2 specific reasons. They have nothing downstairs to house women. It's all up a flight of stairs.
Okay.
And they had
the thing. So that was just from an officer. So I'm telling you as a supervisor, if that's not true, then that's not going to be true. So
so why would the officer lie though?
If you wanted to see housing, if you are seeking housing at Marjorie Mason Center, then we can also try to do that for you as well.
Why would the officer perjure? Why would the officer?
There is a DV advocate that's working.
Why would the officer be in perjury to tell me and state to me that he talked to the director and that was what they stated? Why would he have a reason to lie about that?
I don't know, ma'am, but I tell you what, though, I mean, I can find out for you, you know.
So you're gonna double check with Marjorie Mason and see if they have something downstairs?
Absolutely. In fact, we're gonna have, so we have a DV advocate that works out here. She responds out here if we request to actually for situations that are exactly like what we're in now. Is that you have some questions to where, yeah, I can try to answer them for you.
I really don't have any questions if they don't.
So I'm gonna have a DV advocate come out here now, and then we can ask